that you know works.
Yep, in literal terms, all right? We're kind of winning top, we're kind of winning bot. We killed the roamer like twice or thrice in the first 2 minutes. What do we do with that? Like, that's exactly the conundrum that they were in game number 1. So game number 2, I'm not sure if, the past 10, 15 minutes were enough to recover and try to gather your plans. But yeah, that's what's going to happen here, starting with the draft 1 minute.
Yeah, but that was the execution, right? We've been talking about how they're supposed to execute their game plan, but now maybe we can talk a little bit about the drafts because they tried. They tried going for a proactive draft. It didn't work. Should they just stick to the draft where they need to respond to fights, or do they, like Leo said, just keep on going, use your tempo?
Looking back at the draft, looking at the bans coming in from Onic, just like we said, during the earlier stages of the pick and ban, we can already see that Onic is trying to deny something coming in from the side of RSG. They want to deny a control in terms of the team fight, especially around Riverside, where the Paquito was banned, the Nathan was banned, as well as the Eve, and then they picked up the Farsa earlier on. And we looked that the Farsa eventually went to the gold lane, so it is a situation where they did not care where the Farsa is going to go. They just want to make sure that it doesn't go over to the side of RSG. So right now, RSG, they really have to think of a hero that can clear the lanes a little bit better. They need a wave clearer, as well as they need a hero that can really control the team fights, because Selena is more of a pick kind of hero. It's not really something like a Farsa and Eve and Lilia. You get what I'm trying to say, right?
Lolita?
Yes. Definitely.
Okay, what are your thoughts on the Lolita? Because this is a hero that we have seen from Lolzy as well. He has played the Kufra. Just now, okay, what are your thoughts on Lolzy?
It's away from what he usually does.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about the Lolita. We were hyping the hell out of the hero since the show started. And the fact is, maybe these two teams, they don't play on that wavelength. They don't play on that plane. And yesterday, everything was all about Lolita. Lolita wins games day 1 of the playoffs. But today, it seems like these two teams, they're not budging. This is their playstyle. And you know what? I'm looking at this from an optimistic standpoint. Maybe RSG, they give this same approach another good Boy Scout try, then it might work because same draft pattern.
Oh, yeah. Exactly the same right now for both of the teams, for Onic and RSG. And RSG, they've actually, Onic, they've stayed in that second pick, man. They want to stay in the second pick. Now, let's see what RSG goes for. Do they want to go for the same thing here, the Matilda, or take away the Beatrix in the early stage? Oh, actually,
the Cho!
Cho first pick coming in for RSG.
Now, the thing is, where's this show going? Is it going over to Lolzy? Is it going over to Diablo? Like, over here we can see Diablo is here, but the show is a flex. It can go Rome, it can go Gold, it can go EXP. There's a lot of chances that this show is going to be over to Lolzy. I don't know. I really don't know.
Can even go support, as we saw Hatred do just in game 1. So that's the reason why Cho is such a contested pick in MPL Philippines, the home of Onic. So they know how important this is, but just the same, Onic PH not budging at all. They're picking 2 of the same heroes from game number 1, and they're saying, okay, you want to play this game? Let's go.
Yeah, you want to take our Cho? We're going to go with the same composition. Cho didn't really matter in that composition. It was just an added bonus for the side lanes, getting that 1v1 pressure, but a lot of heroes can actually do that. So for Onic, they're going to go for the same kind of compositions. What you want from the Eastern Shin is to take turrets down, objectives, neutral objectives, and everything on the board. RSG, they need to look for scrambles, for fights, for picks, and I think I really like this Cho.
Yeah, right now, RSG, it is a good time for them to pick up the Beatrix as well as the Farsa. There is a lot of control in terms of how will they play the team fights, and they're pretty good in lane. So right now, it is prime time, but Onic, maybe this is a bait?
A bait or more of just a hard rampage? Because this is what I was looking out for. Yes, you get Sana back on the Selena, but this is what I was afraid of for RSG to pick up the Yu Zhong. I could have sworn maybe the Cho could have been a telegraph, no, but in game number 1, if they picked up the Yu Zhong, that could have ruined Onic PH. So this is another go. I'm liking where RSG is going here.
Yeah, again, like I mentioned, what they wanted to do in the first game was go for that aggression, but Onic PH with the Uranus, once again, Glarski just doesn't want to let this go. He wants it, and this time around, he's going to pick it in the first phase.
the Larsky likes attention.
Your team
and
is
even when they
damaged.
give him attention, you have the Rafaela in the back just healing for you. So on the side of RSG, right now they do not have a lot of DPS. So they really have to look at this draft. It's like, okay, we need a hero that can really burst down this Uranus. And on the Philippines, they're having the bans. They're banning out the Lunox is a very, very good ban. Right now, RSG, they really have to dive deep and look at LY4's hero pool. Is like, okay, LY4, what do you need? What do you need to actually take down this Uranus?
I feel like the Roger is still really good using that Roger, but
Your
they
team
need
is
to utilize more of that early game, utilize more of that killer instinct in the first phase. Because if, like we saw from this first game, he didn't utilize it much. He wasn't able to do anything apart from that first kill.
He was trying to do the jumpy jump, but the
Jumpy
Rafaela,
Jumpy jump.
yeah, that's what they call it in the
bouncy
streets.
pounce.
Yep,
The
the jumpy
scratchy
jump.
scratch.
Exactly. That's what he tried to do, but Baloyski and the Rafaela was just not going to allow it. It's essentially the complete foil on the side of Onic PH. So now that they have the
Your
Rafaela,
team is
that's
damaged.
already a no-no. That's a clear no-no. I don't think LY4 should try to force it, which is why all the more I appreciate this different approach. The Yu Zhong, the Cho, the Selena, I'm guessing they need one more bit of burst and then one more dive enabler. Lolita's still out there. Matilda's still out there. Could help bring over the Cho. Could help bring over the Yu Zhong. But definitely those are two priorities. One more bit of burst. And then, again, maybe the Matilda or the Cho could still go on Lozi too. I don't know.
Yeah, Lozi, I do want him to play an engaged heavy hero because we've seen that every time they look good is based on Lozi's play. So give him a playmaker kind of hero. Don't give him anyone that's actually passive. Right now, the Beatrix has been banned. I feel like it is a pretty okay ban because you don't want it to go to the side of the Philippines where they can use it. They themselves can use it as well from the side of RSG. LY4 right now, in terms of his own hero pool, I'm not seeing a lot. I'm worried that it will go to a situation where he will go back to one of his OG heroes, the carry. It's so risky. It's so risky. Like, Brody is still up and all those heroes are still up. But even Brody, I'm not 100% sure the way that the Larsky is playing, can you even stop that? Because you can't stop the Larsky. You can't stop any of the turret traits coming in from the side of Onic Philippines. And Amon has been picked up. Good luck taking any marksmen right now.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very hard for them to look for any marksmen. But what do they want to get right now? The hero pool has just been, it's just been cut down so much. And there are not many options apart from the Roger. Who else can fit into this jungle?
Barats?
Barat's Bauman, but it's not going to be answering any of the questions that Onic PH are
There's
raising. There you go, the Bauman and the Clint pickup. But again, that Uranus is going to be a problem.
It's good that the lethal counter is in LY4's hands. It's 2 retributions and it's a way to shut down the Uranus if they're able to burst him down, which is why I'm kind of happy that they do have the Clint. But in all honesty, that's their only real source of damage. The Selena, not as reliable. You kind of have to hit that arrow first. You have to get the jump in right. Hopefully somebody steps on a trap to add to that, but
You need to go in the early game.
yeah. So there's so much that RSGSG needs to do to make this work. They have to go from 0 to 90.
Yeah, this is one of those things that RSG has been known to do where they overcomplicate things. We have to see whether they can actually execute on this composition or not because, again,
It's either the Brody or the Popo and Koopa. Brody, sure, you can just wait it out, just play the waves, not get any pressure at all until you hit level 4. But with Popo, you can get it from the get-go.
Not to even mention the Amon. We don't know where either is going because we've seen Onic PH do this before. They played a mid Popol and Koopa, they played a mid Amon. So it's not an easy go for Baby Cakes. He's getting num-nummed.
He's getting num-nummed. What's up with you, Leo, and the baby thing?
Are
in the
you
cake is
hungry? I mean, like, come on, man. Maybe. M3, maybe.
M3, maybe.
Maybe. Right now, as we're going to go through the tunnel, let's take a look one more time at the rosters, at the heroes that they picked up. From this, I want to get some early predictions on the draft. Leo, let's start with you. Onic or RSG?
I'm liking Onic. I just need to see as well where these heroes are going. But already, when it comes down to execution, so much simpler.
Yeah, I'm honestly on the same train over here. It's Onic time. Onic is looking so strong. They've been so clean, and having this kind of draft, it's kind of difficult for them to be taken down.
It's going to be a unanimous decision for Onic PH draft, but we will have to see the execution from both of the teams. Will they be able to use this win condition, RSG, to come back and make it a 1-1 game? We are getting ready for the game, and instantly, it is not time yet to get into the game. We have a little bit more time to talk about the drafts.
Okay, so there is a few things we can pick up on given that lineup. It's going to be Marky on the Popoling Koopa, so that means Hatred is on the Amon in mid. I kind of like that more.
Yeah,
I like
same.
that it's the Amon in mid because he can rotate so fast. He can put up such a threat anywhere he is on the map. Hell, even LY4 and the Balmond, unless he doesn't get the killing spree triggers, Hatred can get a free kill out of nowhere, like especially if the side laners pick up on it. So yeah, this is great. All the more, I'm going to say Onic PH.
Yeah, this is also giving them a snowball opportunity where when the Amon already has a level 4, even though not the most bursty hero at level 4, but the way that they can play these lanes, it can be a situation where you take one lane, and the thing is, if one of the side laners die, especially if it's on the Popoling Koopa lane, then the tower is just going to get broken down very, very easily. And that kind of situation, if you break the first tower, even like, say, the first 3 minutes, 4 minutes, then it's going to be a situation where RSG will have difficult time to actually find a farm to scale back into the game. And it just becomes a situation where Onic, even though they're playing Mobile Legends, they're also playing chess and checkers and other smart games where they just control everything.
I like how you ran out of it. You're just like other smart games.
Yep, they're playing other cerebral, just
I'm not Onic.
Yeah.
I'm Lapel. I can stop whenever I feel like it. They can't. They have to keep going.
It's because it's Onic time.
Because
right?
it's Onic time, yeah.
No, but for
When is
reals,
it RSG time?
When it's RSG time is when they understand that they cannot give the map over to Onic. They really have to understand that because the moment you let Onic have the map, you're kind of disrespecting them.
a lot of it rides on, again, the way you put it, Lafel, the first 3 to 5 minutes. Turrets are going to be prime objectives for Onic. There are targets on him everywhere. But the thing is, RSG's window is literally from level 1 to 4. Once Onic, all of them hit level 4, it's going to change the tide of battle. Timing is just going to be so different until we hit late game, and then it becomes a crapshoot from there. It's literally just who can pull the trigger faster, who's going to make the wrong mistakes at the right time, if that makes any sense. So yeah, just like in game 1, early lead. That's essentially how Sana plays on the Selena.
Yeah, and the difference is right now, it is Onyx's time to actually put on the pressure, because this time, in terms of the draft, they are the one that can execute the early aggression, but they don't really have to just because they have a lot of options. And RG, they do not have a lot of options. It's tough when you're playing a draft where you're hoping your enemy does something instead of you trying to execute 1 or 2 things.
Yeah, I agree. Again, LY4 and RSG, their composition is like you need to get ahead in the early stage, right? With the Balmain, you want to get those early objectives, those neutral objectives. With the Selena, you want to get those kills. And the thing is, you need to. Because like you said, Onyx draft is multi-dimensional. They can play multiple styles right now. They can go for the early game, sure, but even if they falter in the early game, they still have that mid, they still have that late with Uranus coming in as well and the Yisun Shin.
Now you mentioned the whole Delarsky Express, the train with no brakes. What is RSG to do there? They have the Cho, they have the Selena. I'm guessing it's a 50-50 when it comes to laning into Yuzhong.
I mean, it becomes a situation where the Balmain can be very, very good because Balmain and Uranus almost plays kind of the same way. If Balmain is ahead, you can't kill him. If Uranus is ahead, you can't kill him. In the early stages of the game, when both of these heroes don't really have much, then it's kind of equal ground.
I want to see what kind of battle spell Delarsky has. If it's still the Flicker, then he may be biting off more than he could chew. I'm hoping it's on the Purify this time around. They just went really floored it game number 1. That's why he can afford the Flicker. But this time, in the face of the Cho specifically, you want to Purify. I hope Delar picked up on that.
I very much agree on that. You know, the Purify is going to help him get out of these crazy situations, especially that single target lockdown that RSG has. But let's see, the players are already getting ready. We are going to get into the game very, very soon as there is a game remake. But again, for both of these teams, we have seen Onic Philippines just split the map really, really well. What does RSG need to do in that situation? Do they need to just, face them when Onic Philippines goes bot, we go bot, or do they want to trade? That is the question. That's what makes it so hard for them to respond to these plays. But it is not time just yet because we are going to get another pause for a second. Yes, Lafel, that question.
Yeah, so this is the thing about the side of RSG. I talked about this before, where every single team, they have a difference in their early game time, their mid game time, as well as their late game time. For the side of RSG, they need to get to the mid lane a little bit earlier compared to the side of Onic Philippines. And what they have to do is they have to group up much, much faster, almost playing at the RRQ kind of pace where, sure, during the laning stage, play your laning stage, but get to that power spike way, way faster and then using the advantage and forcing the fights because they have to push Onic out of their comfort because, like I said, going out against Onic, I've said this over and over again just because of how important it is. If you give the map open big, especially since they do have the Yi Shin, it's going to be very difficult for the side of RSG to really win back the game. They have to push their advantages.
They do. They really do need to push their advantages. And the thing is, right now, there is another technical pause, all right? So this is giving them a lot of time to actually talk about this as well. The win conditions from both of the teams, this is going to be very, very aggressive, very, very crazy from the start for RSG. And Onic Philippines, what they need to do is to weather out the storm.
Yeah, again, that level 1 to 4 are going to be key for Onic to survive. And then they're in the driver's seat. Into the Land of Dawn we go. It is confirmed to be a mid-lane show. I'm wondering who has the roam items here. It's got to be Sana at this point.
I mean, it could be the both of them. This is the thing that RSG, they do like to do. They want to play double roam. It is kind of okay when you have both of them on, but it makes the game a little bit slower just because you're going to have your items as well as your level a little bit later.
Yeah, and there you go. Already Hatred playing very, very aggressively into that mid lane, taking Lolzy to half HP, but it is going to be LY4 with that early aggression, with the initiation to get that little Wanderer. As Onic Philippines, they are just going to go for the normal path onto the Yi Shin. Doesn't really want to go for anything too crazy just yet.
Here you see the difference already, the little adjustments that even Onic PH has done. Pelosi is not going over to LY4 anymore. So he understands that the tempo has changed. He understands that this is their window. 1 to 4. If we play it right between here and then, it'll be all right. And up top, wow, I'm so impressed. Dilarski is actually winning against Diablo.
Yeah, but right now we have to look at the gold lane because we do see that both these teams, they understand that this is the lane that they have to watch. The Larsky going up against the Diablo, let's put them on the island. This is a 1v1. Let's respect the big boys over here and try to see who is actually going to win in the lower stage of the map. And we can see that Yi Shin is already pathing down there.
Yeah, but you can see the pressure already, man. Just the dominance that has just been asserted by Marky alone. Now with Yi Shin also in that bottom side, it's going to make it really hard for this Clint to do anything. Maybe even a dive coming in here as Onic Philippines. You just take half of that turret gold away before the turtle even spawns.
Right now looking at the turtle RSG, they are... I would say they should force this out. They got the first blood. LY4 1v1 against Beloyski over there. But right now, will he continue this? Loisy is there.
Yeah, he actually didn't use that lethal counter to get the kill, so it's actually very possible for this to keep on going. Larsky, he needs to be careful. Lolzy has the way. The dragon will not choose to use it just yet. He is just going to be able to zone Larsky away, and that is going to be the turtle taken away by Hatred. Look at him, damage! Goes in for more and picks up the kill once again. LY4 trying to run away now. He's going to be taken down as well by Kyrie, who joins in the fight. Diablo, he's jumping in. He's trying to look for a trade, and he'll get it. It's a 2-for-1 for Onic PH.
Nasty. Mountain Shocker kill aside, you gotta respect that aim on. And yes, at this point, Hatred, he doesn't have his sustain just yet, but wait till he does. Wait till he starts rotating and starts taking down baby cakes. So far, one thing we can say about Baby Cakes is he's holding his own against his Popoling Koopa down bottom against Marky, who we must note is using weapon mastery. He's looking to build those items to even more be a threat to RSGSG's objectives, and I guess that's why they're babysitting Baloyski. They sent him over there, they understood, and they smelt that maybe Lolzy, maybe Sana, they might be looking for a kill here, and they're looking to let Marky ramp up.
Yeah, right now looking at the items, Kyrie, he's going for that War Axe a little bit earlier over here, and once he completes that, I feel like that is the sign to go. That's the sign that, okay, Amon, you can burst out anyone. Right now, Marky over here as well, I would suggest that he has a lot of damage. They can go much more aggressive right now from the side of Onic Philippines.
Yeah, but the thing is, do they want to be that aggressive, right? It is a 1,000 goal lead already built from no kills, and there you have it once again. Wait a minute, there's going to be Sana going for the Mr. Arrow. Holy Baptism gets him out of there, and that is why that Rafaela just does so much. And in the midst of it all, it's going to be Marky picking up the turret, flickering away, and the beautiful level macro. But wait a minute, it's going to be RSG collapsing onto the bottom side, and Marky will be the victim of that engage.
Yeah, that is exactly what they have to do. Even if they have to burn their spells, just go for it. You have to push on this lead, control the map. But still, on the Philippines, they're doing good, and then engage.
Too much that Lolzy committed underneath the turret. There's still a shield here, and now Hatred, just like that first fight in mid that extended into the jungle, they're gonna take down Baby Cakes here. There's too much burst on this Amon.
Oh, wait a minute, it's actually gonna be Baby Cakes. Yep, there you go. There's the ultimate coming in to finish him off. But yeah, that was
food.
Oh, just playing with his food, agree, but
The cakes.
the
He's
cakes.
playing with the cakes.
Playing with the cakes, playing with his food, whatever you want to say it right here. It was RSG making a misplay in the bottom side, and it is going to cost him a lot. With Honor Philippines taking the turtle, and Larsky just being such a nuisance, but with the Dragon will be able to connect right now. It's going to be a lot of damage placed on Larsky. The Furious dive as well to chain it all down, and finally he gets taken down.
Okay. This is still early game. We're still playing in the first 5 minutes. Can't expect the Larsky, despite having the Purify, he chose not to use the Consecration, so he understood. I must say though, why the Purify if he did not even commit fully to trying to stay alive? I guess it's just Onic having a little bit more leeway. They understand that they're in control. They pushed 2 lanes already, top and bottom. And so far, RSGSG not able to get anything in return, but they're keeping the kill score close. This is very reminiscent of Game 1.
Yeah, right now looking at RSG, they're moving as a unit. They're moving as a group, looking like they're worried in case Hatred comes in, trying to burst anyone out. So it is a good idea, but I feel RSG, they really should set up somewhere around the turtle side, because I feel with their composition, they can actually win a fight over there, but they just have to be careful of this Amon.
Yeah, and there you go, the kill. Oh, Hatred jumps in, but it's actually going to be baited away, and that's it. Oh my god! Lolzy goes for the way of the dragon, but Kyrie in a 1v3 jumps in and picks up another 1-for-1 that is worth it for RSG, because Hatred has been getting a lot done, but Marky actually starting to lose these 1v1s up top.
The key to taking down Marky is to compromise Koopa. That's how he fell down bottom underneath, where eventually Onyx still got a trade. So, yeah, that was a close victory for Baby Cakes, but he just did not have the confidence just yet to go ahead and be the aggressor, as he shouldn't. At this point, 6 minutes in, I think Baby Cakes should still play it safe. Baby Cakes should still try to ramp up, and then eventually when they have these 3v4, 4v4 fights, as long as he gets caught out, that's when they get their timer. But right now, big fight!
Yeah, big fight comes in. He's going to lose the counter place already. Kyrie has nowhere to go, and he's going to get taken down. Diablo, he gets out, and Marky, he needs to be careful. He can't go anywhere again. LY4 picking up the double and the turtle to put it on top.
Diablo is playing beautifully right now. 2-0-2 on this Yuzong. Not only can he initiate well, but he chooses the right targets. Right now, RSGSG looking like with this Yuzong pick is the way for them to win the team fight.
That was just really, really good for the side of RSGSG, man. They played it really well, and that is the reason that they have been able to come out on top in the group stage. They need to go for more of that. They need to push the pace.
Yeah, right now looking back into the replay, this is why I say Diablo is playing so well. Lolzy got caught over here. Diablo just goes inside, engages, and instantly goes flag a dragon form, hitting his skills onto multiple people, hitting that dragon tail, and getting the Sharizu just to make sure that he stays alive. And in this kind of team fight, especially if Onic Philippines still want to try out that banana split. The Yuzong can definitely travel from basically all parts of the map.
Yeah. He landed the Petrify on like 3 or 4 dudes. And it was beautiful. So yeah, that Yuzhong pick in the first phase in the draft, paying dividends for RSGSG so far. Now it's time for Onic PH to recover. They've shrunk the gold lead. RSGSG are 400 away, but still they're back on the banana split, about 1,000 gold ahead. Onic PH, they left Delarski, so maybe this is Delarski's window. Maybe they just bought time for the Delarski Express.
But it's actually really good for the side of RSG Singapore, right?
Oh.
They do have the map split to a very good place for them. And now Lolzy already trying to look for an opening in the team fight. But remember, Onic, they can go for these crazy team fights as well. And LY4, he's caught off guard. He's going to be baby kicks, kiting them away. And Onic can't go for any engage. One thing that their composition lacks is a reliable source of engage. They don't have anyone to just go straight at them. So RSG, anytime they don't see a good fight, they can just back away, whereas they can pull the trigger anytime they want as well.
Look at Baloyski, just fearless. Face checking in the traps, using that first skill on the Rafaela to see if anyone's hiding in the bush. That's exactly how you play these moments, but yeah, almost mini heart attack moment when he got caught, and then whoa, even Lolzy thought about it. Should I come in, wave the dragon you? Maybe not.
Yeah, looking at this game right now, I'm actually happy to see LY4's progression, where he used to be a marksman one trick as well, but right now he has given up the carry position over to his own team, playing a more tanky kind of hero, more heavy in the front side, showing RSG they've really grown up and say, you know what, LY4, I'm the leader, I'm going to go in front, I'm going to trust you guys to do the damage, and right now RSG is looking much better compared to game 1.
The questions for game number 1 was that can they fix the little mistakes that they made in the first game into game 2? It's a very hard thing to ask for a team, especially considering that they only had a few minutes to go in. But oh my god, Lolzy goes over the way the dragon is game, but connect onto Marky. He's going to get shut down, and boom, bada bing. It's going to be an all-out fight coming in with one on the board. It's going to be another one picked up. 2 for 1 for Kyrie. Jumps back and forth. He picks up a double, and he's looking for more. Diablo keeps on jumping in, but Kyrie, oh my god, beautiful kiting as he looks for another kill. He dashes forward, and Hatred picks it up. A 5 for 2.
Literally the equivalent of what Kyrie did was he slipped on a banana peel and turned it into a moonwalk and then just swaggered on through, resulting in a wipeout. I don't know how he dictated and how he predicted that LY4 would dash on through the wall, but he used it to his advantage, triggered the passive on the Eason Shin, wiped out RSGSG with the help of Baloyski, and got a free lord in 10 minutes, almost 11. That was masterfully played.
Yeah, absolutely. Kyrie, he was like, yo, Delarski, you controlled the first game. I want a little bit of my time on screen as well.
What?
Yeah, honestly, Kyrie played just like yesterday, you know, when he played with us. Anyways, right now, Onic Philippines, they're looking so good. They're flashing their mechanical skills, and right now, RSGSG, I think even they were surprised. I think they have to take a sit back and like, okay, we got to restructure our plan. We need to reprioritize the heroes. If they can get onto Kyrie, that's great, but the question is, can you get onto Kyrie?
Can you get onto Kyrie? That's the reason the Eason Shin is just so lethal. That first ability is unstoppable. You want to use anything. As long as he times it properly, there's no way you can cancel that. So look at this. Right now with a 6.7 thousand gold lead, with the Lord also marching down the bottom side. Delarski doing what he can. This is not looking good for RSG, as again, they don't have a lot of that high ground. Damn it! Hatred! What was that? He just goes in and boom! Sana disappears out of the map. Onic are looking to go to match point, and Delarski will be leading the charge inside the base. Diablo trying to do what he can, but he's going to get taken down in the end. Onic are just ferocious. They are vicious, but RSG, they don't want to give it up. They're the host. They want to come back, but Onic just keeps on giving it to him.
It's Onic time. It's Onic time. I mean, a game till Onic time, but yeah, we're at 2-0.
Yeah, when you watch the game, basically Onic controlled the entire time. As of right now, RSG looks like they're not getting a read onto Onic Philippines. It looks like they have not have a proper plan to actually initiate whatever they want to do. And right now, Onic not only winning the draft, winning the microplay, but also winning the microplay. Getting engaged on, I'm saying macro, anyways, both. Macro, micro, Onic Philippines winning out that last team fight. Kyrie is amazing. He is chocolate something.
No, don't say that.
Don't.
No, he is not Chocolate Samyang.
He
But
just said it.
he just said it. Kyrie, this is the guy, that Eason shouldn't look like one of my ranked games, LaFell. Well, I'm trying to reference this. I don't know if Kyrie can hear us, but whatever. It's a 2-0 right now. Match point for Onic PH.
To be fair, both teams went into this game with a little bit of game one, and if you do that, you tend to repeat a lot of things. So again, if game one was Onic's game, then more likely give it a little few tweaks. Still gonna be an Onic.
Yep, but it's enough for us here at the caster desk. Let's throw it on to Wolf and Gideon, who are waiting to get their hands on this game. Let's get it.
Thanks, boys, at the caster's desk. Welcome, everybody. The analyst stand is here. We got to break down this game. Let's start things off with the draft here. Hoping that they're going to get away with that Yuzong pick. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, they picked it the second, technically their second pick, but it's a third pick. And then they went for Cho for a steal against Onic Philippines. It is very admirable. But then again, their last pick, Clint, was kind of predicted because it really makes sense. And if you're looking at the composition of Onic Philippines, it will deal the damage. Problem is, they had to resolve their Uranus problem with a Balmond pick. I think that's the real bad effect of picking up the Yuzhong. You kind of put yourself into that spot where you need to look for the damage elsewhere, and now they needed to kill the Uranus. They don't have a good matchup against it. They had to resolve with a Balmond, which, it kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things, but it didn't work.
It's rough. I honestly think it was a really tough game for RSG in certain aspects, and like LaFell said, the draft was already going to be the #1 problem. However, as we've seen before, RSG does have a very clear idea of what they want to do in the earlier stages of the game. It's just that transition, right? There are fights that they do win, and it's tough. They've got to put it all in one little pack, in one little gamer bag. Don't forget, we're going to be shouting out to our travel partners here, Tumi, for making it all work. The leading international performance luxury brand when it comes to this designated Tumi bag, which we actually got, as well as the rest of the casters yesterday. Oh, does it feel like luxury? Does it feel good? All the compartments. It's a pro-level design bag for esports, and you can also check out some of the accessories that can go along with it. So cop yourselves one today while you still can. All right, let's go and have a look at the items and talk about this a little bit more, because I'm relatively interested to know where exactly they could have done a little bit better, maybe even optimize it.
Yeah, I think it's more about we always talk about this. You're anti-sustain when you're looking at the Uranus, because Uranus, he's not really dealing the damage. He's more of like tanking the damage. If we're looking at the composition of RSG, they don't have anti-magic when it mattered. In fact, this Radiant Armor from both the Yuzong as well as the Cho came in late, which kind of made it so easy for Onic Philippines to take advantage of the Amon. And you saw Amon deleting even the Yuzhong at a certain point in time.
See, that's the thing that really bugs me right now, because when I'm looking at Diablo's build, he should have gone straight away for the Dominance Ice almost immediately, knowing that he's going to be jumping in, trying to deal with that Rafaela as well as the Uranus, and Lolzy should have been going for the Radiant Armor first and then looked for the Dominance Ice.
That is a very good point, Gideon, because the order of when they will be able to get those items, that really matters a lot. For example, it's always important for your roamer to go for a very smart and cost-efficient first item. You always have to hit a lot of birds in just one stone on one get from your first item, because again, you're a roamer, you don't have the luxury of gold.
Well, while we're on the topic here, I want to talk specifically about this Amon coming in from Hatred. Was it effective? Is this meta? Is this the way to be taking Amon into the meta?
All right, so I put Amon on top of my tier list because I've seen in the Philippines, at least in ranked games outside, and of course when these boys do stream, they love the Amon and they put it in the mid lane, the gold lane, as well as the jungler role. In the mid lane, however, this is the playstyle of Hatred, and for the longest time he played in mid lane only last year during MPLI, and he was phenomenal with it. He shifted to the jungler, eventually the gold lane. Now in the mid lane, as the Amon, the assassin type of mages, you're gonna expect him to excel in that department. So if you're asking me, will this be a meta pick? Maybe not so much. Is this gonna be a style pick for Onic Philippines? Definitely.
Very interesting, especially knowing how mechanically the Philippines are inclined, with 42k overall coming in from Hatred. Like, especially the person, anybody who's 50% HP is at risk. And I definitely think both Diablo and as well as Baby Cakes felt that. Now, let's have a look at the MVP of this game. Going over to Onic PH's Kyrie. A 50-50 matchup here in one of those fights, which we will see in the highlights later on. Kyrie managing to outplay it, now taking it over and breaking RSG's back in the process. 4-1-8 overall match KDA with match GPM, the highest currently in that game with 860.
Yeah, I heard that you actually played with Kyrie, not against. With Kyrie just yesterday, and it was he was playing the support role, if I'm not mistaken, but now he's playing as the jungler. I think that this MVP nod can be attributed to that last clash when we ourselves were so impressed. This outplay, using the walls to get in and out of the fight, saving himself in the process, and also dealing so much damage in return while not being touched by the members of RSG. With 860 gold per minute, this guy is unstoppable. And you know what's interesting? This is back-to-back, like the composition of Onic Philippines, almost the similar case with Uranus, with the Yisun Chin, as well as the Rafaela. Maybe this is something that RSG should now answer.
Yeah, I think whether it's answering or not, everybody at home, whether you're an RSG fan or if you are an Onic PH fan, go and claim your battle emotes, because we've been preparing exclusive battle emotes for all the 16 teams, and each battle emote has its own little voiceovers. So get them now and support your favorite team from November the 29th all the way until December 12th. It's limited time, so you can cheer for your teams by adding support points. Now, don't forget to log into the game and get a chance to support your teams every day. And when the event ends, the teams with the most support will be presented with the Player's Choice Team of M3 award at the official site of the M3 World Championship. However, due to contract restrictions, MVG's battle emote is not for sale at this time. Now, let's have a quick look at these highlights. I really hope that we do get to see the outplay coming in from Kyrie here.
Yeah. So we will be starting in the first game where it was Hatred's time to go for the outplays. And at this point in time, RSG, in fact, were kind of controlling the early stages of the game when it comes to the kills. But all throughout this early game where the kills were in favor of RSG, the gold did not translate properly. In fact, there were times where the kill lead was actually in RSG's side, but the gold is heavily sided on the side on Onic PH, and this is off of their macro play, courtesy of the CEO Dilarski.
Yeah, it's honestly it's the bros here from Dilarski as well as Beloisi chilling it out, and then finally Dilarski making it happen, and the flame shot fadeaways just keep on happening even as they transition in towards game number 2. This Rafaela pick is really making all the difference here in terms of that peel.
Speaking of difference, you see Hatred utilizing the damage out of the Amon, and maybe this is something that will be fixed after the patch because it's way too good. Imagine that's a Balmond with a turtle buff.
Yeah.
That is so much tankiness that Amon was able to just push through.
Yeah, it's brutal. It really is brutal. And despite the fact that RSG did get a lot of good fights like this one here, it starts turning it around because notice, despite the entire situation, and check this out, Kyrie, he makes the first move, he dashes perfectly, gets the kill, hops over the wall with the using the Cyclone to get on out of there, traceless again. It's all about making that first move, and Kyrie isn't afraid to do that.
I hate to nerd out here, but he did find his shot selection is just so good. He was able to just heal himself up. He was already 50% HP. He gets a kill, gets back because of the killing spree. Then the Balmond on the other side of the cliff wants to enter back. The moment that happened, he went out of there, and his range advantage was in full effect during that moment. Very nice crossovers coming out from Kyrie himself.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrie, oh, it's good. He's really, really good here. I can't wait to see how the things are going to start shaping up. But in the meantime, guys, both the teams are going to take a quick, short break. They got to re-strategize, figure out what's the next best step for this upcoming game, and so do we here at M3. We're going to be throwing it over to a quick, short break. Remember, all of this is being presented to you by TikTok Live, supported by the Singapore Tourism Board, as well as powered by Muntun. We'll catch you guys back at the Casters X, but until then, take a break, chill out, and we'll be back with more Mobile Legends action.
It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the dark. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we come to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the dark. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we come to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. Running up now, nothing's gonna stop me. Oh baby, please, oh yeah. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the dark. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we come to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm burning up now, taking. Running for the glory, good, so good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all. Never run from the fight, yeah, we come to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top. I'm on a rush now, winning, that's my focus. I need some ice, you gotta cool me down. I feel my little vibe coming closer. You got me waiting, waiting for you. When chasing trophies got me ready, don't you worry. I feel the power, I'm the champion. You got me running for the glory. Good to let this go. Burning up now, nothing's gonna stop me. I'm going faster, wanna break away. I love the way it feels. It's the adrenaline, we're going all the way. Cause we never ever going down. You got me walking through the dark. We don't catch a slide when we were young. Never run from the fight, yeah, we come to the top. Never run from the fight, all the way to the top. Never run from the fight, yeah, we rise to the top.
Let's go.
The host team, RSG Singapore, will need to dig deep here in the 2-0 scoreline that Onic Philippines has. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the M3 World Championships here at Suntec Singapore with your casters for game number 3 still sitting at the desk. It is Mirko, Leo, and Lafel.
Honestly, we've yet to see RSGSG make any big moves. They played to their strengths from game number 1 and 2. Very small tweaks, but maybe it's time, man. It's match point for Onic. Maybe something drastic has to change.
Yeah, right now they're on the back foot, and it really depends what happened during the break. Because during the break, they're going back with the coach. It's like, okay, what is it that we have to change? What is it that we have to improve on? Because in terms of how Game 1 and Game 2 play, we definitely see some kind of improvement coming in from RSGSG. So in terms of can they do it, I feel like they can. It just comes to the question, what should they be doing?
Yeah, that's the funny thing, right? From game number 1 to game number 2, we've already seen the improvements coming in for RSG Singapore. Will they be able to come back from that? That's going to be the question right now. But ladies and gentlemen, M3 World Championships is powered to you by Moonton, supported by the Singapore Tourism Board and presented by TikTok Live. And for you guys back at home, guys, you guys want to be the MVP of both skill and style? With the Frank debit card, out of over 60 designs, you can choose one for, that screams or your personality or your dreams. Go ahead and check it out. If you're an Onic fan, you can get one with Onic symbol, maybe perhaps. If you're an RSG fan, host country, go ahead, check it out, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sure the RSGSG one exists.
For sure.
Yeah, it probably exists. But right now, looking at both of these teams, it almost is a situation where RSG, they really have to bring out. Now I'm going back on my own word, right? I'm saying they have to go for comfort, but almost they have to go kind of local, kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Because right now, Onic, it doesn't seem like they have to do anything. They just do Onic things, and then they'll win eventually.
Yeah, they have, over the first 2 games in this best-of-5 match, calibrated a few things. They haven't really strayed away from what they wanted. And Coach Babel, I don't think he wants to do anything, again, as you put, too crazy, too loco. But in this case, you have to. Because maybe it's that fast-paced moves by Onic PH that has put them in this position. So maybe they should get on that train, ride the wave, play with them head-to-head. Last game stats, it's very skewed. Look at how much damage Kyrie put on the table as well as Hatred.
Yeah, again, 58,000 damage dealt in a pretty fast game. That is just crazy. The fact that this Yisun Shin was able to scale so well, it is all contributed by Hatred, Glarsky, Markey, and Boloyski, who set it up.
But interestingly enough, on average, I think there's more damage across RSG.
Yes.
Okay, so here's the thing. Baby Cakes, we see that he does a lot of damage, and this is one of the things where I feel like RSG should really look into is that they don't play too much to their side laners, because Diablo was doing well. Baby Cakes was doing well, but I don't see a lot of resources being put there specifically. It's more like, okay, follow LY4 wherever he's going, then they're going to do something. Yes, a lot of fights happen in both the gold as well as the EXP lane, but I really feel like when you see Baby Kicks ahead, when you see Diablo ahead, try to do something with it. Try to get some kind of advantage, because it seems like they have a good thing going for them, but they don't realize it.
Yeah, as you can see from the damage charts, you mentioned RSG, they're actually doing more damage all across the board. Totally, they deal more damage, but the thing is, it's not put onto the right target. The shot selection just wasn't there. This Yisun Shin, he's been free hitting for a lot of these team fights, and that's exactly why you can see these huge damage numbers, but no result.
You also have to consider the lineup. There was a Uranus and there was a Rafaela. So all the damage being dealt was recovered anyways.
And to be fair, in that kind of situation, I wouldn't blame RSG. It's more of a Kyrie thing to do. It's like, they should have damaged the Yisun Shin, yes, but the Yisun Shin is kind of the problem why he's not going down. He's been dodging all of it. That crazy wall back-to-back kind of dashing in and out with the traceless. Like, again, yes, RSG, they should have head-on go for the Yisun Shin, but to be fair, he made it so much difficult for them to do it.
Yeah, there's a term in FPS games, in another genre of esports, called wall banging. This is our wall banging.
Wow.
He just went from... that's definitely a highlight play for the day.
Oh,
literally. I will remember that across the playoffs.
You know, the thing is, as a Houston Shin, you can't really make those crazy, flashy plays, but somehow Kyrie just manages to do that, right? You can see the movement alone is so beautiful. It's not a Hayabusa quad shadow. It's not a Link's blade, right? But it's just so good.
It's so elegant
Yes.
because the kit of the hero is so specific. It's literally just one dash. He has one dash, and he has the passive to play around with. The fact that with such a simple mechanic, he was able to play around it. At some point, that might have been just a happy accident. I don't know. We'll have to talk to him later because you saw he clearly bumped into the wall. He read into LY4's movements.
Even if it was a lucky accident, I would argue that luck is also a strength. Every single thing that you do is attributed to your own strength. And right now, from the side of RSG, I want them to understand that Diablo and Baby Kicks are part of their strengths. LY4 is great, but really, Diablo was looking like he could make the plays. So play around him.
Yeah, let's talk more about that, man. I agree completely with that. I feel like they're just too fixated on LY4. In game number 1, okay, he's using a Roger. You want him to scale. You want him to snowball. So playing for LY4, there is a reason. But in this game, he was using the Battlement. He's self-sufficient. He's supposed to be left alone, doing all these things alone. Maybe him also helping out the side laners. But exactly like LaFell put it, they haven't been able to use Baby Cakes and Diablo's winning lanes to, take it anywhere, to translate that to more objectives or more leads.
There was one shining moment in RSGSG's Game 2 wherein they had a huge turnaround where Diablo got that 3 or 4 man petrify. Maybe try to do that again. But Onic PH not gonna allow it. They now have the Yuzhong in their first phase bans.
Yeah, I feel like even they understand giving Diablo a hero that can really penetrate into the backline is going to be very dangerous. I feel like he can kind of do the same thing with a Lapu Lapu, with the Esmeralda. It's just that with the Yuzhong, it's much easier. And the Nathan has been released and is going on the hands of Onic Philippines.
Oh my god. This is the first time that Onic Philippines will be stepping into that first pick territory once again, and instantly you see the difference from their squad. They usually ban out the Nathan, but now first picking it. This pick is so good. Why? Because firstly, it is still a prior hero. Secondly, it can be flexed so many ways.
And the thing is, this is going against the comfort from RSG. They're not the kind of team that likes to go to the backline except for Lolzy and Diablo. So right now, if they do not draft in a way that can actually punish this Nathan, then they're going to have a very hard time. It might again be a 3-0.
Oh, I was about to say this, but the Paquito has been left open again. Last time around these 2 games, the Paquito has been taken away, and this is one of the contested picks that we will see throughout the tournament. He is still sitting at a 70% win rate, but the Rafaela will be picked up as well as the Beatrix for Onic PH.
In their first phase alone, Onic PH has assembled their 3-man kill squad. We've seen them do this in the group stage, and now they're going to do the same exact thing again. Baloyski is just going to play the Rafaela.
He doesn't mind being a Rafaela one-trick in M3.
Yeah, M3 is his Rafaela era.
3 times this time.
In the series alone.
In the series alone, he's picked it up 3 times. All of the games, and so far, the impact that he's had is insane. Even though in the early stages he does get caught out, it is for the greater good of his team. He opens up the map really well. He uses that to, funnily enough, dying is something that everyone just doesn't want to do. But if you do it right, if you make it worth, it's a good death.
Yeah, right now RSG, in terms of how they're drafting, again, it's looking pretty good. If the Paquito is going to the jungle, I would say that is a little bit more favorable. He can move around the map, really putting a lot of pressure every single places that he goes to. But I want to see LY4, can he really execute on this one as well? Because the playstyle is almost the same as the Bellman and the Roger, but he hasn't been really adding anything for his team, because even though the side lanes are winning, he's not making the win even bigger. So right now, from the side of RSG, in terms of the draft, it's already looking good. From the side of Onic Philippines, the draft is also looking good, but they still need someone to go to the backline and deal with the Beatrix as well as Nathan.
Oh, definitely hear ya. We're looking for a replacement on the side of RSGSG, but it's looking like currently maybe Diablo's going to be playing the Paquito. Could be LY4 still, but RSGSG, this is quite the surprise. It's a blunt object, but in the hands of Dilarsky, it's a lethal instrument. They ban out the Uranus.
In this kind of situation, I almost want to say take a page out of BTK's book. Just take a Saber assassin. Just take a Saber jungler.
Yeah, again, against this marksman team, you want to go for those pickoffs, right? It's going to be really, really good because Onic Philippines, they're going to look to maybe group up a lot here, right? With the Rafaela, they need this. If you can pick them up, because the thing is, for Nathan and Beatrix, both of them are really dominant in their lanes in the jungle. They want to go for the objective, so they are going to naturally split up a lot as well. And that is the prime time for RSG to look for picks on the board with the Saber, perhaps, but the Barrett's ban comes in. The RSG, they don't want to go against these hard front lines, and that will kind of mean that either they're going in for a very good front to back, or
clearly gonna have to be the Tams here for Delarski, unless they're feeling frisky, picks up a different hero. They understand RSGSG. They're smart enough to say, okay, we see what you're trying to do. You can't afford any more softies, so you're gonna have to play something that's very sustainable in the side lane, and I'm seeing it's got to be the Tams unless they steal it here, but they're going to turn their lineup into something else. So in efforts of stopping Onic PH, RSG might actually be investing a little too much in that counter play just direction.
But the thing is, even if they do take the Tamus, I would argue that Onic Philippines, they still have a lot of choices. This is the thing about EXP late. There's a lot, even the Esmeralda. So they took the Esmeralda over here, but it does show that his Paquito is going to the jungle.
There it is. The Tamus pick already predicted and instantly taken away by the side of Onic Philippines. Remember, 5 times this hero has been picked up and is still sitting at a 0% win rate. Not a good hero. I mean, technically, in the M3.
Side lane, Lilia, Marky, we saw him do this in the group stage, so nothing too crazy for Onic PH. They're staying the course. They're playing just little calibrations, little iterations of what they did in the series so far, and that's just riding momentum.
This is why it's so weird, because they can really do anything with their draft right now. They can put Beatrix gold, they can put Beatrix mid, same thing with Lilia. Lilia, I would say putting in a gold probably is a little bit better in terms of investing where you put this Lilia at, just because the mage will always outrange the marksman, and the Lolita is coming in. Will this be enough of a game changer? And looks like it's gonna be a Matilda mid.
Yeah, I was about to say you need something to counter that damage that's gonna come through and just shred your front line, and the shielding from Lolita, it's gonna do wonders.
Yeah, could be the hard stop to Onic PH's streak, but again, Lolzy, he's tried game 1, game 2. I'm thinking where he's mentally right now. You have to be ready as a Lolita. You have to be standing right in front. It's going to be that Rafaela, Nate, and Beatrix just roaming around. If he gets spotted by a Holy Baptism, man, how do you even stop that? How do you even charge up your Numinum Blast?
But anyways, I'm hyped. If Lilia is the key, if Lilia wins it for RSG, making sure that they're still in the game, then again, Moonton, make this hero better, buff her up, revamp. I want to see more Lilias. Oh, sorry, Lolitas.
Yeah, no, Lilia is actually a foil to Lolita. Now, now we mention it. So there's that interaction as well.
Well, let's get straight into the game. Onic Philippines with match point. Will they be able to close it out right here? Or will the host team, RSG Singapore, pull it back? Lolzy already doing a lot of damage onto Hatred with that follow from Sana, taking Hatred really, really low, forcing the regeneration early on.
Right now, looking at the goal lane, we can see that the Clint is already seeing who is at mid, and he doesn't want to leave. He's just going to stay down there, and he's just going to farm very, very safely. So right now, Onic Philippines, in a way, they've already won that lane just because of that matchup.
Yep, so that's bottom lane, right? Let's talk about mid. There's so much money in mid. There's so much that need the funnel, right? We've seen the funnel strategy from about 2 years in ML history. We just mentioned gold lane. Onic PH got it on lock. Let's now talk about mid again. Onic PH, that's where they want to put their money. It's all on Nathan, it's all on Hatred, and then Beloy is just going to babysit him.
You know, I want to go back to the gold lane a little bit here because, again, it is a first blood. You actually faced this Lilia in the gold lane yesterday. Tell me why it's so hard and why even pro players struggle to do this. But wait a minute, Larsky is already going for a duel, and in the jungle of Onic, RSG already making moves here, but instant response from Onic. Lolzy goes in for a stun, but only onto Beloyski. A little bit of a mistap, perhaps. But yes, back onto that gold lane.
Yeah, the reason why it's so difficult going up against this Lilia, number one, she outranges you. She can deal damage, and you can't. That's a good trait over there. And at level 1, you have 2 skills. There's a lot of combination there. So in a way, you just win a lot in level 1.
Okay, let's see what happens here. Again, it is already 5 seconds left until the first turtle spawns in. RSG, right now, they do have some pressure, but not for the waves. And Lolzy already missing out on that. It's going to be Kyrie waiting in the bush, and there we go. The entropy has been used. It's going to be LY4 dealing a lot of damage, but look at the comeback. Look at the plays by Onic, just waiting it around and using the abilities to their maximum potential, picking up a 1-for-1.
Tempo-wise, I'd say Onic came out the winner there. They do have a better positioning when it comes to the turtle take. And this run-in by Diablo, not going to be good for him. He doesn't have his ult. He has a flicker, yes. But just like that, 2 for 1, yes, in that first engage. Still, Onic looking like they can take this turtle really easy.
Yeah, very easy at that, but wait a minute, it might not be that easy. RSG, they're looking to contest with only 4 members here. Let's see, with the health bar running low, it's actually going to be not... Dude, Kyrie wasn't there. The turtle would be slain, but Larsky, he wants to go for the re-engage right now with the Apollo coming in. Lolzy, will he be able to survive? He's going to get taken down, but Onic, they find something back, even though RSG got the turtle.
Yeah, looking at that last team fight, Onic Philippines, they weren't really sure whether they want to commit or not, and that's where RSG, they caught them sleeping. They went ahead and grabbed the turtle for themselves. But looking at the damage, Onic Philippines is looking very good. They're looking at that Lolita. Once the shield is down, they're just going to go straight in.
That's a good trade, I'd say. Just give up the turtle. RSGSG, LY4 not going to be able to use it much because slowly the firepower on this mid-money lineup is building up. Even LY4 has to think twice, even with Lolzy, if he's able to dive this bush that has the 3 members of Onic in it. So yeah, I think slowly, this 1K gold lead, almost 2K, will slowly grow. And look at this. Hatred knows.
Oh, the damage, LY4. Oh my god, he almost one-shots Hatred.
He knows, but he didn't know.
He knows, but he didn't know. But wait a minute, it's going to be actually Larsky caught in the midst of it all. The falling star move to end it all. And RSG, they found 2 out of nowhere. Kyrie, though, he's right there for the backup. Will he go to the bottom side? It looks like he won't. He's just going to give it up.
It's back-to-back not knowing, right? Marky and Delarsky also got surprised there.
Yeah, but oh my god, Kyrie needs to be careful. The damage, oh my god, that is insane. LY4 with this Paquito. We saw it in the group stages, and now we see it again. The impact, man.
The thing is, he hasn't completed his item just yet. He's going for the War Axe. It's not completed. Once it is, it's going to be a very tough time for the backline from the side of Onic Philippines to actually sustain this damage. However, I do feel like Onic Philippines, in terms of controlling the game, they still have the advantage, especially Beatrix in mid can clear the lane much faster than the Matilda. So theoretically, any kind of rotation, Onic will be there first.
Yep. Initiative on the side of Onic PH, but I must commend LY4. I'm loving that he's in his comfort. I'm loving that he has a hero that is both self-sustaining and is a killing machine on its own. I think that's the problem with the Balmond earlier. He had to have Onic PH make a mistake to overcommit and get eaten up by that lethal counter. This time around, he's so comfortable in his skin.
Oh, but they gotta be careful here. Onic PH realizing that RSG wants to play the bottom side. They instantly rotate to the top side, and Diablo is caught in the 1v4 right now. Let's see if he can run away. He will be, but it is going to be the trade. The turtle for that top side tier 1.
I kind of feel like it is worth the trade, but right now, Hatred over there looking very yummy, but LY4 was not there, and this is a problem. The Beatrix just clears the lane much easier compared to the Matilda. So in terms of defense as well as offense, Onic still looking good. The Larsky over here in the bot side of the map.
Oh, but wait a minute. It's going to be Onic again jumping in. Diablo is going to get taken down. The turret will fall as well, but RSG, they're going to go for engage as well. It is going to be a lot of damage placed. It is still the Vengeance popped in. Larsky still surviving right now, looking for the outplay, but the damage is just certainly too much for him to handle. Baby Cakes picks up 1, but Onic PH, they've actually found the better trade here. Not only getting that top side turret, but also rotating to the mid lane and splitting their resources in. It is going to be the collapse though. RSG, can they go for more? The answer is no.
Onic PH stonks are way up. They could have even forced top lane, but RSGSG, they knew. Across that whole trade for the turtle and for the kill on Dilarsky, Onic PH got 2 turrets. Those are permanent objectives that will never ever respawn. So yeah, when it comes down to Onic PH's long game, I'm guessing, yeah, this 1K gold lead is not where they want to be, but it is great in the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah, right now, RSG, if they can somehow answer back by getting 2 turrets up top, maybe they can equalize this a little bit, making sure that they do not have a clear disadvantage when it comes to objectives.
Yeah, he's already moving up to the top side, trying to get some turrets out of there. But remember, Onic PH, they already got the mid lane turret on the bottom side. It is going to be Diablo jumping into 2 members. Kyrie will just choose to back away for now, as Onic has just taken another turret. What makes this easy for Onic is that they have that mid side opened up, but Beloyski's going to get engaged on right now, and the follow-up just there. Kyrie has nowhere to go. Actually, he still manages to survive, not for long though. Baby King finds him, and LY4 on the back of it all. He gets one. Glarski is all that is left of Onic. He's going to get taken down, and Marky, he has nowhere to go. He's going to go back away. RSG have found that winning fight.
LY4 relentless. He is a predator pugilist on that Paquito. He hunted down Hatred, and that was his one job. He tunnel visioned into the Beatrix, and he got the job done.
Oh my goodness, LaFell, what just happened to that team fight? RSG out of nowhere, they just pulled the trigger, and Onic Philippines, they crumbled.
Yeah, right now we can see that Onic Philippines, in terms of their draft, they're really good in terms of actually pushing. But Team RSG, they got a good fight in their own jungle because it is such a small space, making it very easy for LY4 to actually focus on one target at a time. And the fact that he managed to get Hatred over there, the damage onto the Paquito is very minuscule. But the damage that he himself can dish out, that's amazing. LY4, just like what Leo has said, this is the perfect mix for him. Tankiness as well as damage.
Self-sufficient in the jungle, self-sufficient roaming everywhere on the map, and that killer instinct is just all shown here in the game. Already equalizing, not just equalizing, but also actually getting a little bit of the gold lead. But what RSG needs to do right now is keep at it. Use this lead to get more on the board, and right now, they're doing really good in terms of rotations. Maybe not though, because it's actually going to be Onic PH going for the bottom side, and this might be a disaster. Sana putting all of their resources to go onto Dlarski, and they're losing a lot in that bottom side.
They're still trading huge on the map. Diablo gonna have to back out here. That's 4 members, 2 of them marksmen. Yes, Babygate can try to push up top, but the damage is done. Inhibitor pop.
Yeah, again, RSG, Sana, he doesn't have to serve the Eagle, but Bloisky, he's gonna get taken very, very low right there. Still has the only back and the turn comes in. LY4 already taken out the buy. I don't think it's wise to go for more, but RSG, he's still forced to fight. What is this? It's gonna be a turnaround. Oh my god! Baby Cakes comes in to turn it all around. Dlarski versus Baby Cakes. Will it be the Maniac or will it be Dlarski pulling it back? It's gonna be the kite away, but Dlarski falls back, and the triple kill for both of the marksmen for Onic and RSG.
That was an amazing team fight coming in from both of these teams. And right now, from the side of RSG, they really have to respect the push coming in from Onic Philippines because, again, they can push very, very hard. They have the Beatrix, they have the Nathan, they also have the Lilia. The Lilia can clear the lanes very, very fast. So right now, Diablo can't be alone. He can sustain, sure, but he can't clear the lanes fast enough. Looking at the itemization over here, LY4 is looking very strong. Now he just finished his Hunter Strike. If he can somehow flank from behind, Onic Philippines is in trouble.
Yeah, again, Beloyski just gets caught out. He still has the holy healing, but not for long. It's going to be Sana picking up the kill, and now it might be a free lord to the hands of the hosts.
If Onic PH were doing turrets or kills for turtles earlier on, Lords for the same at this point in the game, 10 minutes in, might not be a good deal.
You see that he even charges through the vengeance, the damage of LY4 as he outplays Marky. Oh my god! Onic have been wiped out! It's time for RSG to shine!
But the decision making on Kyrie, he went up and said, I don't care, I'm going to take this Lord, you are not going to get this, and I think there's still a great window for Onic PH to defend.
We were talking about how RSG have to use the break well, and they used it very well. Right now, from the side of RSG, the thing that I like the most is they actually played the side lanes better. Now they're actually paying attention to Baby Cakes. They're paying attention to Diablo. Baby Cakes right now, 6-1 and 6 score, plays so good. being able to kite out a lot of damage and able to dish out a lot of damage as well. RSGSG, right now, this is their game to lose.
Slowly, this is the passing of the baton from LY4. The first 10 minutes of the game is all about LY4. It was the LY4 show. Now, it's time for Baby Cakes. Baby Cakes grown up.
Baby Cakes grew up very, very fast, actually.
Adult Cakes.
The triple kill. What? Adult Cakes?
Sure, why not, right?
Sure, why not? It is Adult Cakes now. Let's see what happens here. Will he be able to take that baton and carry the team? Because look at Onic. They're just relentless. Even after losing a 5v5, they still are on the pace. They are the one pushing forward. And RSG are the ones on the back foot.
I gotta say, it's all on that last call by Kairi. Imagine if the Lord went over. The RSGSG could have been over because that's permanent buffs on your minions. You might not be able to get the inhibitor. More likely you were, though, because top lane, that's been worked on by Baby Cakes about past 8 minutes. But talking about that one last call, Kairi was going to die anyways. There was no way that a Nathan from the jungle was going to survive a 1v4 like that. But just the same, that's what's kept Onic here still in the driver's seat and somehow still threatening a 3-0 sweep.
But honestly, these fights are all going to come down to how Lolzy plays with the shields, because you can see that he actually nullifies a lot of that damage. And now Lolzy already going in for the stun. It's going to be a lot of damage pace, and Beloyski is going to still be able to run away for now, but very low HP. That was a lot of damage taken, but he still manages to survive somehow.
Merkel, you called it. During the draft, you already said that RSG, based on the draft, they want to play a front-to-back kind of team fight, and that's what they've been doing all this time. Lolzy being very, very confident, staying in the front, making sure that he tanks a lot of the damage, because as we can see, one of the things that I like to see during the RSG team fights is just that the amount of juggling of damage. First, you can see that, they're focusing heavy on LY4, and then the rest of the team's like, hey, hit me next, hit me! And this has become a problem where Onic Philippines, it makes it very difficult for them to focus on anyone specifically, just because RSG, they force the side of Onic Philippines because a lot of the damage is basic attack damage. And yeah, RSG, they're handling the team fights so well right now.
It's honestly insane how they're playing these team fights, but remember, they gotta stay disciplined up until the very end, because even though they've been winning these team fights so far, Onic has been one step ahead every single time for the side of the objectives, and that is, in the end, what wins you games.
Off of the back of a great Numenon Blast and a Circling Eagle, RSGSG has just the perfect team fight if they can set it up. If they can set it up this whole time, Beloyski is trying to bait out these ults, bait out these skills, and that's what he's doing here exactly. All the while, Delarski is splitting up the map. As you can see, 1-3-1. The members of RSGSG understand that the map is just as important, but Onic PH, look at how fixated they are on this river.
Oh, but they gotta be careful though. Look at the Esmeralda. He actually has some minion. I mean, just one minion. I thought he was gonna be able to get something done, but yeah, I thought it was gonna be a minion with full HP, but no, it's only a 1H, literally 1 bar minion. Let's see what happens here, because actually, again, Onic Philippines with the inhibitor that they have been able to take early on, it's a huge pressure spot for them.
Right now, both the teams, they have to put on their dancing shoes, because right now it's a tango. The Lord is there. Onic Philippines, they have the situation where they can push the end. RSGSG, they really have to play this out well. You really hyper-focus on the Lord, focusing on the team fight, but they have to look at the side lanes. This is going to be a long tango.
It is going to be an extremely long tango. Look at the side lane pressure. Everyone is trying to micromanage everything right now, and it is going to be extremely hard for both teams. Very frustrating for anyone, as Lorski already hitting onto that inhibitor turn on the top side. Diablo actually wanted, and he tried. He was able to get that the prio into that mid lane by cutting the waves, but now it is just an all-out 1v1 in that Lord pit as well. Not much of a fight. Both teams just poking, just looking for the right moment to go in, because right now it is actually going to favor Onic PH very much so, with Larsky waiting in the back. This can be it, guys. This might be the final fight. Whoever wins this one might win the series. Larsky jumps in onto 2 members for now. Not a lot of damage placed as well. LY4 is actually going to go for the flanks. Not going to be able to get anything done. It's going to be Larsky backing away, and he is taking a half HP. Not half. He's taking to a quarter of health right now. And Onic, they're forced to back away now. The re-engage comes in for RSG. Far side with Onic 2 is going to be able to connect onto Kyrie, but now still has nowhere to go, and he's going to get taken down. RSG with the comeback, they're going to be able to get 2 on the board, but it's only an immortality for now. The vengeance pop, and RSG will be able to pick up the Lord for free.
Yeah, right now, what happened was RSGSG, they full-on engaged, and Diablo actually managing to get onto Kari, getting onto multiple people, really slowed them down, enough for Baby Cakes to dish out the damage. From the side of Onic Philippines, they really tried to bait out the Lord, but the Lolita, again, just having good positioning, making sure that Baby Cakes is alive, because right now, Lolzy is looking at the entire team. All of you, yeah, you take care of yourself. I'm only going to take care of Adult Cakes right now.
Adult Cakes with that flick shot, taking out Kyrie in quick fashion. It's got to be frustrating, something awful here for Onic PH, because on paper, they should have the easier engages. They just need basic attacks. They just need that one Holy Baptism and Delarski to peel. But again, we just saw in that last big team fight, it took them about a minute and a half to try to find that perfect angle. They almost did, but just off of a single Adult Cakes engage, people just drop.
I feel like the main reason for that is because Onic PH, they don't really have a reliable source of engage. Sure, they have the stun, but it's not reliable to get onto anyone, right? You need to flicker forward, you need to look for these crazy engages, whereas RSG, they can just go for Lolzy can engage. We have Matilda, we have Paquito as well.
Yeah, and the thing about the Lolita, again, we've been talking about Luminum Blast, you don't necessarily need to stun. Even the slow is enough.
Absolutely, but look at this. The siege continues. RSG actually, Onic, we're really good at defending that. Falling Star Moon onto the back line, trying to zone away the members, but it is still Onic defending, and we still have a game on our hands. That was a beautiful defense by Onic PH, taking away that Lord. I didn't even see it spawn. I mean, I did, but it just disappeared in that top side.
Yeah, no, I saw exactly what Marky did. He planted like a bajillion glooms in one underneath and just cleaned the house with the help of Hatred. So I understand now what RSGSG is doing. They know that they're the aggressors. They know that they're ahead about 4K. So what Onic PH is trying to do here is trying to split them up, but it's not as easy. I see now how Onic PH, their plan is so fragile in the face of a Numenon Blast. And I'm not even talking about a full-on hit. Just the threat of activation spreads out the marksmen, the softies on the side of Onic.
This is why I love Mobile Legends, man, because a hero that you did not thought would be good in the meta right now, it can really shift right back into it. This is amazing. I love the creativity coming in from all these players, and the fact that they can use it up to this level just by having that one hero basically shutting down the Nathan as well as the Beatrix, which is the main damage dealers, the main win condition for on the Philippines. This is great.
Yeah, the last time we saw Lolita, it was M1. Literally, right? The last time we've seen it like being in a meta, like very constantly picked up, it was M1. And it's showing up again right here with none of the analysts predicting that this can come up like this.
Basically 2019, 2 years ago, 2 years and change is when we last saw Lolita on top of the meta game. For now, she's slowly climbing back up, and in so many games in just the group stage and even the playoffs here in M3, she was the game changer, and right now that seems to be the case. It's so true.
I'm proud of her. She's doing well.
She is doing well, but Lolzy is doing also well with this hero. Let's see what they can do. 50 seconds on the clock for the Enhanced Lord to spawn once more. 19 minutes of gameplay already as Lolzy. That shielding has to be the main problem.
0-3-15 on the roamer from RSGSG. He was here for about 75-80% almost of the team fights and the kills that RSGSG were able to win. That's got to be something. That's got to say something as compared to the way he played in Game 1 and Game 2. He's really setting the pace. He's really just everything that RSGSG needs at this point.
Yeah, right now, even though RSG they are in front, they have to be careful, but they just revealed their positioning. Marky, if you're not careful, you're going to get caught.
Yeah, but this is because RSG wants to go for... Oh my god!
Oh, that damage!
Oh
my god!
Oh my god!
Was that a bomb?
You need to take back what you said about Clint's late game, because that was disgusting. But already the black shoes popped right before of the Lord fight. You can take the orange buff. That's what we needed here in Lolzy already. Look at that, man. Every single piece of basic attack, even from Baby Cakes, so painful as now the Enhanced Lord has been started by RSG. Larski once again on the flanks, not able to get anyone as of this moment, as both teams will need to micromanage once again all the waves and the Lord at the same time.
Yeah, they're looking for an in, and I'm guessing Baby Cakes right now, he's a barefoot Clint. The amount of damage he's outputting, there's got to be no boots on this Clint. There's no space.
It doesn't matter. He has evolved. Baby Cakes, Adult Cakes, now he's Daddy Cakes. You coming to him, he is going to take you down.
All right, let's see what happens here. Will Daddy Cakes be able to come in to save the game? It is going to be RSG once again with the early pressure. But look at that top side. They need to do something right now. Diablo already going in for the backside. It's going to be Larski canceling out Lolzy. But it is all a mix-up right now. RSG, they're actually caught in multiple situations. And the base is wide open right now. But look at the fight. Kyrie managed to get it one. It's going to be him taken very, very low with the immortality popped onto Lolzy. He's still able to deal some damage right now. But Sana, he goes back in right now. It is still Daddy Cakes coming in, trying to save the game, but he gets shut down. And Diablo, he's going to be next. Kyrie with the Maniac.
A masterclass in using the scramble to your advantage. Twice in a row, Onic PH has been on the receiving end of baby cakes, adult cakes, daddy cakes, whatever you want to call him's gun. Now, they were facing down the wrong barrel of the gun, man. RSGSG wiped out. They're going to say goodbye to their base, and they're going to go down to the lower bracket.
What have RSG? It was their game to lose. That one team fight. That was, I would say, the messiest team fight that we've seen from the side of RSG, where it looks like they were pushing. I wasn't sure who were they focusing on. The focus was all over the place. And for our analysts, if they're gonna analyze any kind of aspect of the game, it definitely has to be that final team fight.
I can't believe we carried this man through MCL yesterday.
Kyrie, man, he came to our team. We helped him out. We made sure that he won MCL.
That's a true story, by the way.
That's a true story.
True story. Jokes aside, though, jokes aside.
Oh my god.
Gotta give it up to the shot caller of Onic
Yes.
and the constitution and just confidence that the players, the individual players of Onic PH had here. They were definitely cornered. They had their backs against the wall. LY4 was on the hunt, but they knew their positioning. They knew how to fire back and where to be this whole time. I can't wait to watch that team fight all over again.
That team fight was beautiful every step of the way. Did you see how they rotated onto RSG's place? You know why they rotated to the bottom side? Because it has been pushed, and that is why the setup of the minion waves is so important. That one thing that they overlooked turned to bite them in the butt for that last fight.
Yeah, RSG, if they played game 1 just like game 3, maybe they had more of a chance, because the last game that RSG put up is definitely the best game that they played. To be fair, they escalated. They start good, better, and then best.
Absolutely, but let's go on to the analysts to go dive deeper into the game. Gideon and Wolf, show us your thoughts.
Thank you, casters. Very good game coming out from Onic and as well as RSG, who put up an amazing fight all the way to that very last moment.
And it was a nail-biter. Almost all of the clashes that happened in the latter portions of the game, late game, around maybe 15 minutes onwards, the fact that RSG was able to just take control of the game eventually, but then again, Onic PH just clutches it out with a wonderful in-out kind of clash that they did in the bottom lane.
I mean, you got to give it to Kyrie, man. One super
The
position
crossovers,
to
man.